Welcome. We are starting the 11th Adhyaya from today. So this is the first session of the 11th Adhyaya. We start with the gratitude towards the Lord, with whose grace everything is possible. We pray towards the Guru Shishya Parampara, through which this knowledge is preserved and transmitted through generations. I pay my respects to my Guruji, Pujya Guruma, with whose grace I'm learning the scriptures and I'm sharing this understanding with you. Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karvavahai Tejasvinavaditamastu Ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. So the 10th Adhyaya was Vibhuti Yoga, where the Lord Himself showed various areas where we could see His glories, His manifestations at some of the very special areas. And this is how we can develop a vastness of our Ishvara Buddhi or Ishvara Bhava. We can start seeing God in several different places, and these are the ways of connecting to the Lord, to the divinity. That is one of the ways to do bhakti towards the Lord. So that was the Vibhuti Yoga. Essentially, our Vedic philosophy tells us that God is everywhere, Sarvatra. And to see this God everywhere, generally we think Lord is in the temple or in one form or in one rupa or sitting in somewhere in the heaven, Uparwala. But from this, we have to change our Bhagavad Bhav, our Bhagavad Buddhi towards seeing Lord everywhere. And to do this, we have to have some transition. So we have to start seeing Lord at least somewhere in some special places. Then only we will develop a Bhava that God is everywhere. So this is the process that we need to adopt. And in the 10th Adhyaya, God showed that His majestic splendor is several places, which helps us to make us humble. And then after hearing all this, a desire springs up in the mind of Arjuna that if I could see the Lord in this form, where God has shown him different areas, and finally we said to him in the last shloka of the 10th Adhyaya that it is just one infinitesimal small fraction of His Swarupa that is manifested in this world. The entire world is not just one fraction of His Ansha. That's what is told, and this created a desire in the mind of Arjuna to see this, the vast form, the Vishwarupa, cosmic form of the Lord. And that is what the 11th Adhyaya is all about. It is a unique, it is completely divine, it is an unbelievable, indescribable form of the Lord in a Virat, in a Vishwarupa, as an entire cosmos in one body, one form that He gives the visualization to Arjuna, and that is what is the 11th Adhyaya all about. So this is the last shloka of the 10th Adhyaya, the 42nd shloka. Athava bahunetaina kim gnatena tavarjuna. Arjuna, he says, Lord Krishna says, what benefit you shall have knowing more than this? I have told you many places, and he says, I'm telling you in only mukhya, main manifestations. I'm not telling you all the manifestations because it's not just possible. And tells him that understand that summary of this entire Adhyaya is that I behold this entire universe, Kritsnam Jagata, by one small part, Ekang Shena, one ansha, one part, small part of my existence, of my divinity, of my entire Swarupa. So whatever you see in this world, you must see me everywhere. This is what was the message. And this created in the minds of Arjuna to see this. He wants to practically witness. He wants to see with his own eyes, because he can't believe that God can be in all the forms in one place. And that is what he requests the Lord to show him his Vishwarupa Darshana. So Vibhuti Yoga, the Ishwaratva, and then Vishwarupa, there is a link between all this. We need to start somewhere. Maybe we start from Saguna, Swarupa, go towards Vibhuti Darshana, then we see the Vishwarupa, and then we try to see from there we take on to see Lord everywhere, Sarvatra. So 10th Adhyaya was a detailed description in theory which makes our understanding of the God consciousness better, more firm, more clearer. And 11th Adhyaya, the Vishwadrupa Darshana Yoga, the cosmic form which Lord shows with all the different aspects of his, his Swarupa, different Swarupa. And then the 12th Adhyaya is a more detailed description of Bhakti. Bhagavan says how we can worship the Lord. So everything has a link in between, and we must see this link, how we can devote ourselves to the Lord, what the God is trying to tell us through these Adhyayas, how important it is to do this Bhakti, to connect with Him with love, with respect, with reverence, with gratitude, for He has given us so much, everything on a platter, even before we were born. So this way we can understand how the one Lord creates many manifestations. He manifests in several different ways in this universe. That is what we need to understand by these Adhyayas. In the journey of the seeker who is on this path, our Acharya tells us that Shraddha or faith is very important because it's the beginning of the journey. The journey generally starts with the grace of the Lord, because some events happen in our life in such a way that we believe we feel helpless, and we try to look for something beyond what we can see. We want to see what is the truth behind what all these dualities of the world. And this grace of the Lord happens only because of some punya of our past, some good deeds. Punya ka pratap ya punya parinam hai ye, when we actually embark on this journey to understand the truth. And the faith or Shraddha that we need to have is first in the Lord, because Lord is the ultimate creator out of which all this creation has happened. He maintains this, nurtures this, all the forces, all the things that happen is because of His divinity, and that is what we need to understand. We also have to have faith in the words of the God which are present to us today in the form of Vedas and the Upanishads and the Gita Ji. And we also need to have faith in the person, in the Guru, in the teacher who is going to explain the meanings of all the scriptures to us. So in these three areas we need to have faith in the God, in the scriptures and in the Guru. And we need to develop devotion, bhakti, which is very important, because the more bhakti will develop, the more Shraddha will increase, and the love for the Lord will also increase. That will keep me take me closer to the Lord, and ultimately make me walk on this spiritual path. Our lifestyle also has to change accordingly. All aspects of our life, like the reading, listening to good things, sattvic, thinking, our thinking has to change. We have to think sattvic. We have to meet people who are similar people. The Sangha is also very important. All these needs to change for us to walk on this path. The desire for knowledge, Jignasa, has to be burning inside us. Only then we will keep walking on this path. Otherwise that fire burns out. And that's why we have to be self-motivated to understand the truth. We have to keep learning. We have to keep dwelling it again and again in it. And then we can develop what is called as the adhikaritva, or the eligibility for this Atmajnana, that is the Shama, Dama, Sadhana, Chatushtya, Sampatti, our control over our senses, our mind, patience, all this, Vairagya, Viveka, all this is very important to become eligible for the Jnana Sadhana. And then finally the endeavor for the knowledge, Sadhana, Jnana Sadhana, where Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasana are the most important parts. And then finally the goal is to achieve complete liberation from all this samsara chakra, freedom from all our miseries, dukkha, shoka, moha, all this is gone, and then we attain what is the Brahma, Paramatma, Moksha. So these are Adhyayas of the Bhakti, from the 9th to the 12th Adhyayas are mainly devoted to the Bhakti. The Tat Padartha Shodhan, the 7th to the 12th Adhyayas are mainly devoted to the Tat Padartha Shodhana, inquiring into the divinity, inquiring into what is God, who is God, what are His different Swarupas, whether He is one, He is many, where does He live, and what does He, how we can understand Him better. So whatever scriptures tell us, how one divinity, Param Brahma, manifests as many, and that is what we need to understand. So Brahma is the true, original, eternal, Nitya, Shuddha, Buddha, Mukta, Chaitanya. That is a pure consciousness. And this form of the Lord, which is a Nirguna, Nirakara, can only be known by Upanishads. We cannot understand this by our own self, our own intelligence, our own mind is very limited. We cannot understand this by our own self. When this Shuddha Chaitanya, pure consciousness, Nirguna, Nirakara, Brahma, commands the Maya for its own purpose of creation of the universe. So Brahma plus Maya forms the Ishvara. Ishvara is the one who creates the universe, who is Abhinna, Nimitta, Upadana, Karana. And this Ishvara can also be known only by the scriptures. We cannot know this understanding. We cannot have all these Maya, Ishvara without the help of the scriptures. When this Shuddha Chaitanya, the pure consciousness, it reflects in our own Antakarana, in the Jiva. It forms, we understand this as the Jiva or the Jivatma, and this we can experience as our Sakshat Aparoksha. We can experience that we are the consciousness. We don't need help of any Pramana, Sadhana or scriptures. Person who is enlightened or is Viveki can understand this even without the help of scriptures, because this is my own Swarupa. I can experience this Atman. And the other form of the Lord is the cosmic form, the Virat Swarupa, the Jagat Rupa of the form, which can be known by senses, because this is how we get hold of the knowledge of this outer world through our senses. So that is the one which can be formed. And finally, the incarnate form of the avatar Swarupa of the Lord, which is during the avatar. Like, say for example, Arjuna is seeing the Lord as Krishna, and that is a Pratyaksha Vedya, means it is in front of him. It is Pratyaksha. It is not Aparoksha, but it is Pratyaksha. It is seen for him. But after the avatar Swarupa is dissolved by the Lord, then Shastra is the Pramana for understanding of all the incarnate forms of the Lord. So these are in essentially the 5 Swarupas, different Swarupas of the same Lord. And let us see what are the attributes of these forms, of different forms of the Lord. The Brahma Swarupa is Nirguna, it is Nirakara, it is attributeless, it is formless, it is pure, Shuddha, Buddha, Mukta, it is free, it is Sat, Chit and Ananda, it is the truth, it is all knower, it is eternal bliss form, it is Sarva Vyapaka, it is omnipresent, Sarvada, it is always there, it is Sama, it is the same everywhere, it is the foundation, the Adhisthana, it is changeless, Nirvikara and Aparivartanshila. So all these are the attributes of the Nirguna Nirakara Brahma Swarupa, which is the Shuddha Chaitanya plus Maya, the Ishvara, is the Abhinna Nimitta Upadana Karana of this world, of the universe, instrumental as well as the material cause of this universe, and it is allowed because it is with Maya, which Maya has is Trigunatmika. This form of the Ishvara is also Trigunatmika. It is with Trigun, it is called Saguna Swarupa, but it is Nirakara, it is formless, and then it can create Akara also. It becomes Sakar Swarupa. So these are all the ways, the different manifestations of the Lord. Similarly, when Shuddha Chaitanya manifests as Antakarana Jeev, it is a Pratibimbit Chaitanya, it manifests as Jivatma, but in reality it is a Shuddha Brahma. It's not the reflected Chaitanya, but it's a pure Chaitanya. It is a Shuddha Chaitanya, a Shuddha Brahma. In reality, that is the essence of Vedanta. And the cosmic form, the Virat Swarupa, the Jagat Rupa, is the one that we are going to see here in the 11th Adhyaya, which is the Vishwarupa Darshana Yoga, where Lord Krishna, who is standing in front of Arjuna in his incarnate form, the Avatar Swarupa, but he is going to show Arjuna his Vishwarupa Darshana in the same incarnate form. So this is what we need to understand, that this is what is this 11th Adhyaya all about. So again, to recollect, Brahma is the Nirguna Nirakar, Brahma Swarupa, the eternal, Sarva Vyapaka, omnipresent, Sarvada, Satchit Ananda Swarupa of the Lord. Jiva is the reflected Pratibimbit Chaitanya, the same Brahma when it reflects in, takes the control of the Maya to create the universe, it is called Ishvara, and when it is manifests itself in the Jagata, it becomes a Virata Swarupa, or it manifests in the Jagata as the Paramatma. These are all the different forms of Brahma. They are all one and the same according to our Vedanta. And then the Avatar Swarupa also, which manifests from Ishvara when he takes a human form and comes on this mortal world. And then this Ishvara, the same Ishvara, manifests in different ways. Brahma, Vishnu as the creator, as a sustainer, and Mahesha as the destroyer. And again, the same Ishvara develops incarnate forms like Ram, Krishna, and all other forms. And then they create a system of all the Devis, Devtas, multiple Devtas who are entrusted each and every responsibility. So this is how what our scriptures, our Vedas tell us. And what we need to understand is this: all these Swarupas are not different. They are all one and the same. The manifestations are different, but the Swarupa is the same. Paramatma is one, who manifests as Ishvara, manifests as Jiva, manifests as Jagata. All these are the same. Paramatma, the Shuddha Chaitanya, is one and the same. Brahma Chaitanya, there is no difference. It is not like that one Brahma Chaitanya is different for Ishvara, Pran is different for Jiva. Within all this, the Lord pervades everywhere as Nirguna Nirakara Brahma. That is the understanding of Vedanta. When it comes to us, our journey, for a spiritual journey, for a seeker, what happens is we have to go on a path which is described, which is shown by our Guru, shows us the path. We have to keep on walking on this path. The scriptures also tell us what is the path. But initially for bhakti, for a bhakta, initially it should start from an incarnate form so that we can at least understand with our senses, our eyes, we can relate to this form much better, the incarnate Swarupa. And that's why in bhakti, it starts with this Saguna Sakara Bhakti in the 12th Adhyaya. Bhakti Yoga, also the first question of Arjuna is the same, whether he should do a Nirakara, Nirguna Swarupa Bhakti or a Saguna Sakara Swarupa Bhakti. And Bhagwan in the second shloka gives the answer and tells him that yes, for most people the eligibility is to start from the Saguna Sakara Bhakti incarnate form, and then we can gradually go more towards understanding Lord in His manifestations of the Jiva. We can understand that even our own core self is the Atman, which is also the same as the Chaitanya. And then we have to understand what is Ishvara, what these Adhyayas are telling us, the cosmic form, Jagata, that is what this Adhyaya is going to teach us or tell us. And then finally we have to understand that everything is one, these are not different. All these forms of Ishvara, Jiva, Jagata, all these which I see as a Bheda Buddhi, I have to now understand this everything as one, which is the Adhisthana, which is the foundation of everything on this universe. So how we can see this omnipresent God, or the Virata Upasana, to see Lord everywhere in this world, requires Adhikaritva, the purity of the mind, and this is possible only by devotion to the universal Lord, the Virata Upasana. Human life, all our teachers tell us, spiritual gurus tell us, is very, very precious. Our scriptures have described this. It is very precious. After 84 lakhs of yonis, we get this human birth. And it is very unpredictable also, because we don't know when it will come to an end. And that's why we should make the best use of the time that we have. It's only in the human form or human avatar or human life it is possible that God has given us this intelligence and mind so that we can connect to the divinity, we can understand the divinity, and we can attain the divinity. So we should make the best use of our time, achieve our goals, and this kind of a Adhikaritva is the Divya Chakshu, the unique strength of our mind. We can help us to understand the Ishvara Tattva, to attain this Ishvara Tattva, and that is nothing but this Divya Chakshu that Lord is going to give Arjuna. So Arjuna's simplicity, his Adhikaritva is very, very, self-evident. Arjuna wants to see the cosmic form in the incarnate form, and that's why he requests to Lord Krishna to fulfill his desire. But first, before that request, he does prayer and stuti towards the Lord. Before asking anything, we need to ask, and then he shows his Adhikaritva. If you think I am eligible, then please show me this form, he says. And this shows that Arjuna is not just a Sakha, but he is a devotee. He is surrendered to the Lord. He has understood all these Updesha that Lord Krishna has given him, all these teachings, all his, whatever he has understood. He surrenders to the Lord and knows that this is the grace of the Lord, that the Lord himself is showing him the Vishwarupa Darshana in the front of the battlefield of Mahabharata. So let us start the 11th Adhyaya with this background. The first shloka, Arjuna Uvacha Madanugrahaya Paramam Guhyamadhyatma Sangnitam Yatva Yuktam Vachastena Mohoyam Vigato Mama. So Arjuna starts this Adhyaya, which is with his statement. He says, Mada Anugrahaya, for having grace on me. And Bhagavan is very selfless. He does not have any selfish motives beyond anything. Whatever he does is for the grace of the Jiva. And Arjuna now understands that only because of this grace of the Lord that Lord has taught him all this Parama Guhya Adhyatma Jnana. He says, Yat Tvaya Paramam Guhyam Adhyatmam Sangnitam Vacha Uktam. You taught me this most secretive knowledge of the Atman, the Paramam Guhyam. Now this secretive knowledge is not because secretive Guhya means it has to be kept secret, but the meaning is that it is secret because it is kept hidden. The nature, the Swarupa of this Atma Jnana is such that it is not evident to everyone. We have to go deep into it, understand, have a lot of Sukshma Buddhi, have to have some Guru, Updesha, Shastra. Otherwise this stays hidden. All our life passes, but this we don't even think about this, that there is something beyond what we can see and what we can, understand. So this Atma, Anatma, Viveka, what Lord Krishna has done from the second Adhyaya till this time has helped Arjuna to understand what is this Param Guhya Jnana that Bhagavan Krishna is talking about. He says, Tena mama moha ayam vigataha, with which my moha, my delusions, which arise out of is ignorance, impurities, ashuddhis, all these tamo guna, all this rajo guna, all these impurities, he says, is vigataha, it is gone. And he says, he's become the adhikari or the Atma Jnana. Now here, in the 18th Adhyaya, in the last shloka, Lord Krishna, Arjuna says that, Nashta moho. So he says, my moha is become nashta, destroyed. But here he says, it is gone. Moha is gone, but it is possible that it could come back or it is permanently gone. We don't know. We will see as we progress. But generally now Arjuna has understood what his delusions were when he saw the first Adhyaya, when he saw the opponent army and saw that these are my own. He developed a moha, developed delusions. And this is, he says, now because of your preachings, because of your teachings, it is gone. Bhavapyayau hi bhutanam Shrutau vistarasho maya Tvatta kamalapatraksha Mahatmamapi chavyayam. So Arjuna is now starting to pray towards the Lord, doing his stuti. He says, O Kamalapatraksha, Sambodhana, it does beautiful Sambodhana for Krishna, whose eyes are like lotus petals. He says, Maya Tvatta Bhava Apyayaha Bhutanam Shrutau Vistarashah. I have heard from you about the origin and the dissolution of all the beings in great details. In 10th Adhyaya, Bhagavan Krishna already has told him how everything arises from him, how everything merges back, dissolves into him. So all these he's already heard. He says, I have heard about this. You are the Ishvara. And also I have heard about your Mahatmyam Avyayam. Avyayam Mahatmyam means your eternal, your indestructible, the Nirguna Nirakar Swarupa also. So he says, I have understood your Saguna Sakar Swarupa, you have told me. I know now that you are like this. And I also have heard about your Avyaya, eternal, indestructible splendor. And now Arjuna has this desire to see whatever good things he has heard. Whenever we also hear some good things about some good places, some good hill stations, some good restaurants, some good films, we also have a desire to, visit those places, visit and see those things. That is how Arjuna, after listening to the Lord, he says he has now a desire. In the third shloka, he expresses this desire. Eva metattathatvam atmanam parameshwara drashtumichhami te rupam aishwaram purushottama. Here also Arjuna salutes to the Lord by two very beautiful salutations when he says Parameshwara. You are the greatest Lord, you have divine powers. He says Tvam Atmanam Yatha Artha. As you have describing your own self, you have already been describing in the last adhyaya. Also you have described your own self. Eva Metat. You are the same. That is, you are the origin, you are the end of the world, but you have no origin, you don't have any end. In reality, you are the same, he says. And He Purushottama, the highest and the complete one, the Purna Purushottama, he says, I have a desire of seeing you. He says, Drashtum Ichhami. I have a desire, I want to see you. What do I have to see you? Te Rupam Aishwaram, your own form, that form with your complete splendor, that entire cosmic form. This is what I desire to see in you. Fourth shloka. Manyase yadi tachakyam maya drashtumiti prabho yogeshwarat tato me tvam darshayatmanam avyayam. So Arjuna already has put in a request to see his Vishwarupa, but suddenly he realizes that only if, O Prabhu, O Master, O Lord, O Prabhu, Manyase yadi tat shakyam. If you believe it is possible for me to see this, if I am eligible to see this, Maya Drashtum iti, if you think that I am eligible to see this form, the cosmic form, Hey Yogeshwara, O Lord of all the yogis, who has all the yogic powers, Tatame Darshayaha, then please manifest, please show me that form, Tvam Atmanam Avyayam, your perennial form, your cosmic form which comes and again in this world. Please show me this form, says. And then he leaves it to the Lord's wish to prevail. If he says, and this is what the devotees do already. Normally, they will put in the request and then tell the Lord, if you feel that it is your wish, desire also, then please fulfill. Otherwise, it's okay. That is how Arjuna has put in his desire. And then Shri Bhagavan starts speaking. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Pashya me partha rupani shatashotha sahasrashah nana vidhani divyani nana varna krutini cha. So Bhagavana immediately accepts Arjuna's request, because obviously Arjuna is very dear to him, very close to him. So Bhagavana tells Arjuna, Partha Pashya, Arjuna, please see, God is already ready to show his cosmic form, but here he has not yet started showing his cosmic form. So the meaning is, now you will be seeing, Arjuna, my cosmic form, Partha Pashya. Me Rupani Shatasha Atha Sahasrasha. By hundreds and thousands of Nana Vidhani Divyani, different forms, most of them are Divya, they are all celestial, they are divine, and Nana Varna Krutinicha, and they are of different colors, different shapes. Akruti are different, Varna is different, colors are different. So all these different forms you will see. Pashya Dityan Vasu Rudran Ashvinau Marutastatha Bahunyatrashta Purvani Pashyascharyani Bharata. Says, what will you see in the Vishwarupa? Bhagavan is telling Arjuna, O Bharata, born in the Bharata dynasty, Bha itself means knowledge. Pashya Adityan Vasun Rudran Ashvinau Marutas Tatha. You see all these, the 12 sons of Aditi, called Aditya, the 8 Vasus, the 11 Rudras, the 2 Ashwini Kumar, who are the physicians to the Lord, and the 49 Maruta Gana. You will see all these. And Bahuni Adrashta Purvani, Pashya Ascharyani. And apart from these, you will see many other things which you haven't seen before. Adrashta Purvani, you have never seen before. and which would be Ashcharyani, which would be very, very astonishing for you to see. So Lord Krishna tells him that you be ready, you're going to see many different things. Ihaikastam jagat krutsnam pashyadhya sacharacharam mama dehe gudakesha yachanyat drashtumichhasi. So where are you going to see all these in Vishwarupa? Lord is telling him. He says, "Oh Gudakesha, O conqueror of sleep, be alert, see what I am going to show you now, something that you would probably never have thought, imagined in your lifetime. Iham mama dehe pashya, in this body of mine," he said, Lord Krishna says, in this, only my avatar swarupa, in this body of mine you shall see. What way shall you see? At one place, he says, Jagat Kritsnam, entire complete world, Sacharacharam, the entire moving and non-moving things, Ekastham, at one place you will be able to see in my body. Lord Krishna is telling Arjuna that here you will see all these, the entire Jagata. Adhyayat cha yannat drashtu vichhasi. And whatever else apart from this, whatever you desire to see, you shall see. If you have any questions, any doubts in your mind, you can also see all those things in this one place. Natu mam shakyase drashtum anenaiva swachakshusha divyam dadami te chakshuhu pashyame yogamaishwaram. So Lord is telling Arjuna here that Natu mam shakyase drashtum, but it is not possible for you to see Arjun with your regular eyes. You cannot see anena swachakshusha, swachakshusha, with your own regular eyes, charma chakshu, in your own, with the jiva, has no powers to see this unlimited divine form of the Lord. But at the same time, Arjuna may have become a little depressed, but Turant, immediately Lord Krishna tells him, don't worry, Arjuna, Divyam dadamite chakshu, I shall give you divine eyes, and with this you shall be able to see Pashyame Yogam Aishwaram, you shall be able to see my divine splendor with this divine chakshu, the Divya chakshu. And Divya chakshu, our Acharya explains to us that it is nothing but it is the samarthya, it is the strength of the purity of the antakarana, through which we can understand the divine divinity, to see the divine tattva, to see the Lord. We can understand, we can relate to the Lord, and that is only by this purity. And that is itself is the samarthya, that is the divine or the Divya chakshu. And then Lord becomes silent, and the entire focus shifts now to Sanjaya, who is relaying this commentary of what is happening on the Mahabharata Yuddha to King Dhritarashtra. And this he is doing it on the 10th day of the Mahabharata Yuddha. And whatever is happening right now, the Vishwarupa Darshana, we are in the first day of the Mahabharata Yuddha when Arjuna doesn't want to fight this war. And then Lord Krishna gives him all this message of the Gitaji in the front of the Kauravas and the Pandava armies. And there he's showing his Vishwarupa Darshana. And now Sanjay is talking, because Sanjay also was very, very fortunate to have the Divya Chakshu from Veda Vyasa. When he had come to give Divya Chakshu to Dhritarashtra, Dhritarashtra refused because of his moha, delusion. He says, I don't want to see all this, because he knew from within that his sons are probably going to lose, and that's why he didn't want to see this. And he lost this big fortune of observing the Vishwarupa Darshan of the Lord. Sanjay was being the fortunate one. So what he's now describing the Vishwarupa Darshan of the Lord, which is the most splendid form of the Lord. Eva muktva tato rajan mahayogeshwaro harihi darshayamasa parthaya paramam rupam aishwaram. So Sanjay is starting to describe the Vishwarupa Darshana in the next 6 shlokas. Sanjaya Uvacha is very fortunate because he is able to see this. He has the Divya Chakshu. He is seeing this Vishwarupa Darshana which nobody else has seen. Of course, Yashoda saw this Darshana in the mouth of Lord Krishna when Krishna was a child. But that was a very transient view, and then Krishna made it disappear immediately. And then when Krishna had gone to the Kaurava Sabha, the courtroom, with a prastava, with a friendship deal between the Kauravas and the Pandavas, then Duryodhana at that time wanted to, bind Krishna into the jail. And at that time, Krishna showed his Virat Swarupa. He became very large. He could not be bound by the rope. So that is the time. These are the only two times that his Vishwa or Virat Swarupa was seen. But this was very transient. This was not in its complete splendor what Lord is now trying to display or show Arjuna here in the battlefield. He says, Tatah Rajan. Sanjay is saying, O King Dhritarashtra, Evam Uktva, after saying all this, Mahayogeshwara Harihi, Lord of the yogis, who is Sarva Shaktiman, who has everything, all the Ishwarya to him, and his Harihi. Harihi means Harati. Harati means he takes away, he steals all the sins, the miseries, the desires, the Vasana, Dukkha, Shoka, all the Papa. He is Harati. He is the Hari. That's why it's called Hari. Darshayamasa Parthaya. He shows Arjuna, out of his grace, he is showing Arjuna Paramam Rupam Aishwaram, his divine form, his Vishwarupa, his Virat Swarupa, with all the splendors of this Vishwarupa. And then Sanjay describes what is the Vishwarupa, Swarupa of the Lord. Aneka Vaktra Nayanam, Aneka Bhuta Darshanam, Aneka Divya Paranam, Divya Dekodhyata Yudham. Is described in the cosmic form of the Lord. Sanjay says, Aneka Vaktra. Vaktra means many mouths or faces of very different species is saying there because there are so many Bhuta species are there. Aneka Nayanam, all different kinds of eyes. Every person has different eyes. Every species has different eyes. So he's seeing many different eyes. Aneka Adbhuta Darshanam, many unbelievable forms, he says, in which cannot be described, which are Adbhuta. Aneka Divya Bharanam, many Divya, divine costumes. Is seeing Aneka Yudhata Ayudham, Divya, all these divine Ayudha, weapons, Shastra, Astra, Shastra, which are Yudhata, means they are Dharan Kiya Hua, they are ready to use, ready to deploy kind of weapons, because in the, after some time, Lord is going to show him a very kind of ferocious form of his Vishwarupa Darshana. So all these weapons are also ready to use to deploy. Divya Malyambaradharam, Divya Gandhanu Lepanam, Sarvaschar Mayam Devam, Anantam Vishwato Mukham. Says Divya Malyabadharam, with all the divine garlands on the on the Lord, with all the divine clothes. He has all these anointed, his body is pasted with divine fragrance. All Chandana, Kesara and all this divinity fragrance. And this Lord is full of Ashcharya, wonderment. Everything is astonishing to Sanjaya. He says, and he is Anantam, he is endless, because he can't see the end of this Vishwarupa. It is very magnificent, very giant form that Sanjaya is seeing and describing to King Dhritarashtra. Vishwato Mukham, his face is facing all the sides. Vishwato Mukham, it's such a giant form, it's a Virat Swarupa. And he doesn't know which one is the front, which is the back, which is the side, which is on one side, because his face is facing on all the sides. It is Vishwato Mukham. And then he compares the teja, the radiance, the luminance, the effulgence of these Vishwarupa. He compares and he says, Divi Surya Sahastrasya Bhavedyugga Paduthita Yadi Bhasadrashi Sasya Asastasya Mahatmanaha. And he compares this effulgence of the Lord with 1,000 sun. And he says, Divi Surya Sahastrasya Yugapat Utthita. When 1,000 sun arise in the sky at one time, what happens? Of course, this Upama, this comparison is, it is not a reality, because you can't have 1,000 suns arising together in the sky. But just to understand, because sometimes even one sun we cannot take the effulgence is so strong that we can't even see towards the sun. So what will happen when 1,000 suns arises? He says that light, that luminance, that effulgence that is obtained from 1,000 sun arising equals to the luminance of the great Lord in his cosmic form. It is very Tejomaya, it is very powerful, it is completely dazzling to Sanjaya, to Arjuna and to all. It says that is the Tej of this cosmic or the Vishwarupa. Tatraikastham jagat krutsnam pravibhaktam anekadha अपश्यद्देव devasya sharire pandavastada. So what did Arjuna see and where he is seeing all this? Tatra ekastam jagat kritsnam. That at one place Arjuna is seeing the complete world. This is what Sanjay is describing to Dhritarashtra. It says Pravibhaktam anekada, differentiated in all different forms. Tada Pandavapashya. Then Arjuna also saw Deva Devasya Sharira, in the body of the Lord of the Devas. So all these is what Sanjay is describing. Tatah sa vismaya vishto rashtaroma dhananjaya pranamya shirasa devam krutanjalir bhashata. So on seeing Vishwarupa, what happened to Arjuna, Sanjay is describing the condition of Arjuna. He says, Tatah sa vismaya avishto. After seeing this wonderful, magnificent, majestic form of the Lord, Arjuna is filled with great astonishment. Avishtaha, vismaya avishtaha. Rashtaroma dhananjaya, in excitement. He has all these goosebumps, all the hairs are standing on the end. He has a lot of excitement. Rashtaroma essentially means goosebumps. And pranamya shirasa devam. Arjuna bows down to the Lord. There is nothing he can do more to seeing this magnificent form. He feels very humiliated, very humble in front of the Lord. Krutanjali abhashata. With folded hands, Arjuna says, seeing the greatness of the others, especially the Lord, makes us feel humble. That is what both the Vibhuti Yoga and the Vishwarupa Darshana shows us, makes us more humble. Arjuna uvacha pashyami devanstava deva dehe sarvanstatha bhuta vishesha sanghan brahmanamisham kamalasanastham rushishcha sarvanuraganshcha divyan. So Arjuna is now saying, is praying to the Lord, doing a stuti towards the Lord. He says, Hey Deva, Tava Deha Pashyami, O Lord, in your body I am seeing Sarvan Devan, all the Devas, and Sarvan Bhuta Vishesha Sanghan, all the different groups of all the species. He says Sanghan means the group, Bhuta Vishesha Sarvan, all the types of species. He is saying there are so many species, and all these different groups, large groups of all these different species I am seeing in your body. Brahmanamisham Kamalasanastamsha. Also he is seeing Lord Brahmaji, who is seated on a lotus seat, Kamala Sanastha, and Sarvan Rushim, Divyan Urgan, all the Rushis and all the Divya, the divine reptiles. Urgan means the species that walks with the chest, with the trunk. So these are the reptiles, the snakes, and all the Nagas, the Vasuki and the Sheshnag are all the divine reptiles. All these are seen on the body, in the body of the Lord. So it must be a magnificent view, and we can only imagine, and our minds are not capable of completely imagining also this entire Vishwarupa that Arjuna is seeing. Aneka bahudara vaktra netram pashyami tvam sarvato anantarupam nantam tamadhyam na punastavadim pashyami vishveshwara vishwarupa. Aneka Bahudara Bhaktara Netram. Arjuna is seeing Vishwarupa with many limbs, trunks, with many mouths and many eyes. He is saying all different forms. Pashyami Tvam Sarva Anantarupam. From all the sides, he is saying, I see your endless form. Na Antam na Madhyam na Punah Tava Adim. I cannot see the beginning, present and the end of this form, because all this space is also created by the Lord. So it is within the Lord, and that's why Lord is unlimited by space. It's you cannot see the beginning, present or the end of this form. And he uses two salutations to the Lord, Vishveshwara and Vishwarupa. So Vishveshwara, Pashyami Vishveshwara means I am seeing you as the Lord of this universe. Vishveshwara means the Nimitta Karana, one who is the creator of this universe, and that's why he is the Lord of the universe. Also means the Nimitta Karana, the instrumental cause, and also Pashyami Vishwarupa. I can see you as the Vishwarupa, I can see you as the universe itself, the Upadana Karana or the material cause of this existence, as part of this existence. So that is the meaning of when this Abhinna Nimitta Upadana Karana is the Ishvara Swarupa, and this is what Arjuna is seeing here. that Swarupa of the Ishwar. So in the next session, we will see much more in details about the Vishwarupa, what is the Arjuna's condition, what happens, and then how he also gets frightened, he gets fearful, and how he now requests Lord Krishna to show him his original Swarupa, his original form, and that is the Chaturabhuja Swarupa of the Lord, which Lord Krishna is very graceful, merciful towards Krishna to show him that. So with this, we come to the end of the first session. Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Parah Brahma, Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.